this video we'll be looking at the Rise of the Banished box for Halo Flashpoint. And is it any good? So, apologies for the late one on this one. Things have happened. But anyway, yeah, this came out in July, if memory serves, and I think it's quite prominent to actually do this box actually, because the next one, First Feet into Hell, which is the ODST box, is coming out at the end of this month, which at the time of recording is October 2025. The box shows essentially two things off. Really, it shows the expansion booklet, which you can get with 4 models separately from the big box, which is £40, and it also shows off the new Brutes. They've got a different name. Do not ask me to pronounce the race names of the elites and the Brutes. I can't do it. As well as their special character, which is Aatrox, the Spartans, or Human Forces, UNSCR, I think it's pronounced. They've got Master Chief, and they're going to have 2 more at the end of this month. And so the Banished will probably have some more in the future. Taking a closer look at the box itself, the blurb says, "Legend of Aatrox has inspired entire legions of warriors to defy the Covenant and follow their own fate. This is the rise of the Banished. This box provides all you need to take on your Spartan opponents, with stunning new models, dice, gaming mat, rules for the Banished. Your games of Halo Flashpoint will never be the same again." And you can say that's right, if you like using Brutes at all. And also gives you a few more elites to play with, so you can double them up when you're doing points. Yes, indeedy. It contains 1 Defiance booklet, 8 Brutes, 4 elites, 1 Aatrox, 19 player/model cards, 23 new game cards, extra tokens, card terrain, which is all this stuff here. 8 red D8s, 6 silver marbled D6 command dice, and 1 deluxe playmat. So, starting with what the D8s look like, they are a very what's the word? So starting with the D8s, these are, well, red, as it says in the box, and the numbers, I don't know if you can tell all that well, but they're kind of like a silver colour on the numbers, so makes them stand out a bit more, a bit shinier, which is nice. Next up are the command dice, and these are very special looking. They're kind of the reverse of the D8s you get, and yeah, these work very well. It seems like red, white and silver colours are the motifs of the Banished faction, as it were, and yeah, fair enough, it works. These are examples of some of the tokens you get. Now, I'll go over the ones that I don't understand. These ones and these ones, I have no idea what they're for, and they're double-sided. I think it's for one of the scenarios for tournament play, and I think it's possibly one where you switch on the objective place essentially, and then your opponent gets victory points if they turn it off, or you get victory points if you leave it on for a turn, which I hate that scenario. I really think it's not good at all. These I'm going to assume is for victory points, although they've got different numbers on them. They could be wounds perhaps, because there are 5s as well, so maybe it's for wounds. These things are for the new big team battle games, which I'll go over in a little bit, but essentially you can play a lot more points, so say 400 points, and you don't get respawns. These things, which I'm not entirely sure what they are, however, I reckon they are Banished activation markers. So If you look in the other video for the Spartan Edition one, you'll see what they look like. I reckon these are for the Banished. These two, I do know what they are, and they look the same on either side. So you've got a blue one and a red one. These are for the VIP scenario. How that works is you randomly choose one of your models at the start of the game to become the VIP, and you get points for killing your opponent's VIP. And the next model that respawns is the next VIP, which is a good scenario. However, it can be quite unbalanced. What if you've got a model that has a really bad survive roll? Chances are, yeah, they're going to be really easy to take out and then will become the next VIP. Unless you be sneaky about it. There are some new item tokens, mainly grenade based ones, and it also comes with some plasma grenade ones, mainly for the elites. And what I like about these is you flip them over and they've got a cross through them to show that they've been used. Now these weren't in the War Games expansion, and they weren't in the base game either, which I think a lot of people were disappointed about. But now with this big expansion, they come with the plasma grenade token, which I think a lot of people was looking for. There are also some new weapon cards, the ones you get randomly that spawn throughout the map, and also ones you can buy if you're doing points-based games. The one that has changed is the shock rifle. So I'll just show you the stats because the stats for it has changed. So if you're just playing from the Recon or Spartan edition, this is what it actually, how it works now. So I think it works a lot better. Nothing else has changed weapon wise, but at the end of this month, at this recording date, there is going to be a big change. So yeah, there's a lot more items you can buy and find, as well as new weapons. You also get some new cards. You get 2 new special orders, one for Aatrox, which actually anyone can use. It's not like Master Chief where only Master Chief can use it, but Aatrox can use it, and anyone else, any other brute that's with him can use it. So, and it is very good. The other one, not as good, but if you've got some mobile brutes, then it's pretty decent. There's one card for each of the brute, as well as one card for each of the elites, as well as a new elite order. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what they do. There's some that I think could be improved or altered a bit, but you know, I don't think they're too bad. Next is the Defiance rulebook. This is the back of it, very plain. It shows you a bit of the Banished, basically set up as normal. Points for the brutes and Aatrox. Some new keywords which, if you didn't get the War Games expansion, EMP and Guarded would be new for you, but if you did get them, they're not. Concussive, I believe, is new, though don't quote me on that, I think it is. And then we've got the points for the new weapons, including the updated shock rifle, which I believe the points are the same. Then goes on to the new grenade types you can buy, and also the special orders for the Banished forces. Some new ones are for the elites, like I say, some are just for the brutes. Then Gonzo goes on to the new scenario, which is VIP, like I say. Big team battles where you don't have spawning. And then you've got Attrition, which is the big team battle game. And then they've got a nice picture, which is zoomed in from the box art. So you don't see Aatrox. Well, you do, but you don't see his face zoomed in. Next is the train booklet for putting the train together. Most of it's fairly easy to understand. There's one that might be a bit difficult. This one where you put these bits in and these bits at the bottom, which, like, how the hell does that work? And then the big bit at the top, which might be a bit odd. One thing to note is this bit, to put this building together, and this bit is wrong. What you want to do is put this bit and these two bits together first, then these two bits. Otherwise, what you're gonna have to do is like pull the bits out slightly to get this in the middle. That's wrong. You don't want to do that. Chances are, if you're careful, you won't damage it, but that will be the easiest way to damage it, and I don't understand why these instructions, for these two parts at least, are like this. It's incorrect. And then we go on to the most complex one, I think, and it's not really, but it's just weird is how it looks. That's why it is complex, is this one, but fairly easy to put together. Next we have the train, and like the Spartan edition and the Recon edition, the Rise of the Banished box does contain 2 trays to put all your stuff in, and yet you can fit everything in one box. In fact, I have it where I've got pretty much everything just in one box. Everything from the Spartan edition and everything from this is in one box, apart from the models. I've kept them in a separate models box just because that's just what I want to do. But the buildings wise, let's start off with these things. Now, like the other terrain, it is double sided. It's mostly the same sort of thing on the other side, but it's slightly different. It's like either dark or has got a glowy effect or something, but you know, these look alright, don't they? Just some more crates like you got with the Spartan edition. Well, the USC crate things, but there's 2 of them, so that's the other one. Basically the same. One thing to note with these terrain pieces is the cutouts are slightly rounded, so they'll stay together a lot better, but it does mean you have to give them a bit more of a push to push them in. I wish they weren't like that. I haven't damaged any of it, but it's like, I don't like it. Next we get our 2 of these things, which you could use these to train for models to ramp up, like so, as you can see that there. And they're just made with a long piece here, a shorter piece here, shorter piece here, and 2 side pieces. And it's very nice that you can just have them lying in the back here, and then some of the other terrain pieces can go in the middle, which is very nice. Next we have these like barricade wall things, and I've put them all in this little corner section here, and they do fit in quite nicely. So it's basically these 3 pieces here. I'll just zoom out the camera a little bit. These 2 pieces here and one of these, and again it's double sided, which it's all the same because I think it is, yeah, because you are going to see everything, and you get 4 of these, so nice little scatter terrain pieces. So you just put them together like so. So it's just the pieces go in these notches here, like so. These are some of the easiest to put together. Like them bits aren't bad either. Like these bits aren't bad, and the crates aren't bad either. So now I'll show you how to do the bigger bits of terrain, which is why I've moved the tray out. So I'll just show you how to put it together. So first off is this weird slanted power generator thing, which I think it's really nice. They're doing not so boxy terrain now. They're moving a little bit more back into boxy stuff for the ODST stuff, but they're using a lot more height and elevation for it, which nice. So I'll just put it together. So like I say, what you need is these 2 pieces first, and this piece here. So this is what it looks like on this side, this is what it looks like on this side. Likewise, these 2 pieces, you've got it like this, or like this. So this goes in here, and like I say, do this first, and I'm sure you can see if you put the 2 side pieces in first rather than the other bit, this is going to be hard to put in. It's like, why would you do that for instructions? Then we take 2 of these, and this is what it looks like on this side. And this is what it looks like on this side, and like a lot of the terrain, it just slides in. And like I said earlier, the bits are rounded, the slot bits are rounded, which they go in a lot tighter, they stay together really well, but it's going to make them more prone to damage because they're tighter, because they're rounded, which I really don't know why they did that. So this is how it looks at the minute, and then you take two of these, which this is how they look on one side, this is how they look on the other. I don't know if they're different, I think they're pretty similar. So I'll put this one here, it goes on like that. So I'll show you a bit of a close-up just to show how that looks. There's a tab there and a tab there, and they go on the slot here and the slot here. I know I'm using the wrong terminology, shut up. So this is basically what you get. A fine terrain piece, and it looks really lovely. And like I've said before, if you're not a clumsy fingered oaf, you'll be fine. I mean, even if you are clumsy fingered oaf, this will last you a hell of a long time. This is thick cardboard stock, so it's pretty durable. Next we'll do the weird small T building. So if I've got all the bits, yes. So first we'll need either two of these. So this is what they look on either side. Just flip them over. I don't know why, but it reminds me of Star Wars Episode 3. Don't know why. So let's take one of these, and then you'll need two of these. So this is what they look like on this side, and flip them over. That's what they look like on that side. So you can probably tell, but these go in like that. I'll show you again in case you missed it, because I'm putting this together. Yeah, like so. And then you take the other side. Have I got it right? Have I got it right way up? No, I haven't. No. Try again. This is where the instructions come in. Oh no, I have got it right way up, because how else is the thing going to go together otherwise? It's just not. Yeah. So yeah, there's no wrong way to build this. You'll see how it's built, and yeah. So just put this bit in here like so. There we go, like that. And then we need these three pieces. So we've got one piece like this, and that's what it looks like on that side. And then we've got these two pieces, and that's what these look like on the other side. So how it's supposed to work is these two pieces with this sort of stuff on it goes together on this like so. And then this other piece goes either way up, like this way or this way, but because it's not as red, it goes in like that. And this is pretty much how it is. Now it is supposed to be a piece on the floor, but you could put it on top of another building, which I will show you when I build it, or you could have it like this, or, which is really nice I've found, you could have it like this. So models can actually just walk from one side to the other. So on this tournament, the tournament organiser said no, but I'd say yes, because look how awesome it is. How can you say no? Finally we'll come to the big building, and it is a big building. So what we need first is, let's go with this piece, and that's what it looks like on the other side. So there's like some glow bits, the lights are on, the lights are off, so let's go lights off. And then we'll need the two smaller bits. It starts off basically like the big containers from the other two, the Recon and Spartan edition. So these are the small pieces, so this is what it looks like, lights on and lights off. So we are going lights off, so we are putting them together, lights off, so that slots into there like so, and this piece slots together like so. So same on the other side, the other one's just the same. The detail's the same, the colour's the same, everything's the same on it. So it goes down like so, and just slides in. Poof. There we go. Then we take these two pieces, and they are same on both sides, I think, yes, and these go on the bottom because there's some cutouts like so. These just mean your board's got a bit more cover for your terrain, so that's what you've got so far on that. Then we take these two pieces, which are kind of like the other ones. I think they're slightly smaller, and they've got these things at the top. And what they do is they go in these other two areas. So just show you here. That goes in that like that, and then the other one, if you didn't see that, pay attention, Bond, and go together like so. So this is what you're left with at the minute. Then we take this big bit, this big weird cross thing. So that's what it looks like on one side, and that's what it looks like on the other. So it's all looks lights off, and the lights are off, so let's go lights off. So this goes on here like so. It just goes where these posts stick up, so it's really simple to understand where it goes. Now, what I do in my games, this is supposed to be like a level 1 piece of terrain, and fair enough, it works. But what I like to do is stand on top. It makes a great use for height, and it means if you're getting thrown off by a grenade, then you are taking damage. Not only that, you get some, if you're able to, go from one piece to straight through to the other. I mean, you don't have to put it like this if you don't want, but come on, if the Spartans get a big tower, why can't the Brutes? So this is one example of how I've put all the terrain in this tray. So the middle section and the side sections for the slanted generate thing I've put in here. The two slanted blockade bits I've put on either side. What else? The thin bits that are like support bits for the big structure I put in there as well. Every big bit I put in this middle bit, as well as the two crates. And then the other bits I've put, so then the three bits that are in the T piece. And then these pieces, what I've done here is, if I just take them out, because I don't think this was intentional, but I think I've been very clever. So what I've done is, like, I put the barrier bits like this, and then put two pieces here, and they fit perfectly. Two pieces there, and then these three bits just go on top. And then you've got room for tokens, and then some with other bits, because there is room for everything in here, which I think is really well done. Next is the mat. Now, it's not double-sided like the Spartan Edition one is, however, I do feel it's a bit more durable. And yeah, after playing with the big folded mat on the Spartan Edition, the blue side, I'm afraid, is not that good. It is hard to see where the squares are, and so it's hard to work out where models go, where terrain is and whatnot. If the squares were marked out in white rather than black, it would have been a hell of a lot better. Aesthetic wise, you know how it looks really good, but gameplay wise it doesn't work that well, unfortunately. However, this is a bit different, so I think this is a bit more durable, I suppose, overall than the Spartan board. But I mean, they both are pretty good. It's just that, I mean, this is the best one just because of how it looks. So I'll fold this out if you've never seen how this works. And so this is how this looks. I mean, it already looks pretty 3D-ish because of how everything is. And honestly, you could just use this as a backdrop for all manner of things. I'm trying to get as much in as possible. I mean, how they've done this is really well done, and the squares I think are a lot more better distinguished to view and see where everything is on here. And now for possibly, arguably, the most important part of the box, the models. This is the warrior. Standard as it goes. Shoot is pretty average, although his weapon does have optics, so he's got some sort of good potential. Fights on fours though, so he's got some capabilities there. It's a nice chunky model. He's just got a basic rifle that he found from a dead human, or dead Spartan I suppose. I've decided to do the colour in blue. Kind of how it looks on the box, not quite as good as it does on box, but, well, no, I don't think it's too bad. Next we have the Guarded Warrior, the only one that's got a weapon that's, I think it's a forerunner weapon. I think all the other weapons, apart from the basic warrior, is brute based weapons, so that's why I've painted it in red. Like I say, it's the only weapon that I can't get to work all that well, but it is what it is. I've kind of followed the colour scheme that it has in the box, but as I've said again, their colour scheme is a lot better and a little bit more detailed, but I like how I've done it. Next we have the Sniper with the shock rifle and disruptor, the disruptor being this little pistol, and yeah, I've loved painting these. Yeah, I've painted it in purple. You'll see why in a bit, very soonish. I've no idea why the snipers have got these big things on here. I can see why they've got these. Focus. Thank you. I can see why they've got these things. These are meant to be like sights or whatnot for them, so fine. But these things, what they're for? I mean, they're not counting for targeting purposes, but how are they going to be able not be spotted somehow? Explain. Next we have the other sniper with the Mauler, I think it's called. Skewer, that's it. A very good weapon, very long range, very good arm penetration, very good all round. It's also got the Mangler, I believe it's called, this little pistol thing here, which is like a sawn-off shotgun type affair. And again, why has it got this big thing? But see, I thought when I first saw the model, this is like a tag thing off his arm, but no, it's just the back of the gun. But yeah, again, a really nice model to paint, and it's been really nice to do them. Now, a little tangent here. Why is it pink? So I've got a Spartan, an Elite, a Brute, as you can see here, and soon to be an ODST when I get the set in. That is going to be painted pink. Now, the reason being behind that is when I was demoing it once, someone got a hell of a lot of 8s. And in this game, if you roll 8s, you get to roll another dice. So I think he had about 8 to 10 dice. It was somewhere around there. It was like, Jesus, that's a lot. So ever since then, I've painted at least one pink one. Because, as you'll begin to find out, and I'm going to keep making this a thing, pink ones shoot harder. This one is one of the captains, which, yeah, the Hydra is a human weapon, so, yeah, okay. It's another human weapon, that's why I've painted this colour, don't at me. Yeah, what I've kind of done, if you've noticed, I've done the underclothes in one colour for each of the ranks, so the snipers are green, the chosen warrior's black, the base warrior's blue, and then I've done the captains in like a mustardy yellowy colour, which I think contrasts really nicely with the armour. Captains are the most expensive points wise for the brutes, but they have the best stats. They also have jump packs, best armour, best shields for the brutes as well. This weapon's, I think he's got 2 weapons. I can't remember. I think he's got 2 weapons, but yeah, still a pretty nice weapon. Not my favourite captain, but it's still pretty decent. On to the other captain, which has got a weapon. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but I'll just see if it says there. The Shredder. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's got 2 ranged effects and a close combat weapon built in. And like I say, I think I've... Focus, please. Thank you. I think I've done a very nice paint job. The metallic greenish colour completes really nicely, I think, with the yellow. And yeah, it's just a nice pose. He's just pointing forward, commanding his troops where to go. And I've just added a little bit of black, well, silvery paint for the blade attachment, which, why not? I say, why not? Next are the Berserkers. Now, these are not that durable, and they are really not that good at shooting. However, in close combat, they hurt a hell of a lot. Seriously, if you're in close combat with these, especially if they've got like a Engi sword or a grav hammer, yeah, you ain't getting out of there anytime soon. They are one of the cheapest models for the brutes, and while it shows, but like I say, if you get them in close combat, it's really going to hurt. Plus, they have the most health, rather 6 than 5. Yeah. However, this section is about the models, and yeah, does anyone want to tell me the problem here? These sculpts are both the same. Seriously, I don't understand this. I mean, okay, there's a slight difference. I've just noticed, actually. The arms are slightly bent differently. This arm is slightly bent inwards. This arm slightly other way. Okay, but the bodies, yeah, bodies are the same. The heads are different. Actually, this one's got actual more hair on it than this one. I've just not just painted it like that. They literally have different hairstyles on them. But yeah, yes, the arms are slightly different, the heads are slightly different, but the poses are so similar, it's ridiculous. The only real way you can tell them apart is the different grenades you've got. So you've got the spy grenade in this one, and EMP grenade in this one. So pay close attention to what grenades they start with as to what they have. I'd probably recommend making the grenade the most brightly coloured part of the model. Honestly, what I would have done is have one running forward or something. The pose might have looked daft, but I mean, models that look a bit daft you can paint up pretty nicely in this game anyway. It would have been different. It's just having models that look the same in a game like this, where unless they've got start with the same loadout, having them with the same stuff, it confuses your opponent, which, alright, it's a strategy. It also confuses the owner for like, oh, which one am I using? I don't understand this. You'll get used to it, trust me, but for the first game or so, it is confusing, so just watch out there. I suppose you could argue on the stats there's only two things that are really different. I can't remember which one, but one of them has they both have different grenades, and one of them has a shield, and I think that's the only difference. So yeah, one of them has a shield, one of them does not. One has an EMP grenade, one of them has a spike grenade. That's it. Which is fine, berserkers, close combat, but like, make the poses a bit different, And finally, the big guy, Atriox. Now, the brutes look pretty big, but I'll just show you how big comparatively. So, we have a Spartan with an energy sword, painted up like one of the main captain from the second 300 film. Yes, I have done the one with the grav hammer as Leonidas. Anyway, that's not the point. So, as you can see, the size difference is immense. However, if I just scoot them along a bit, yeah. Oh dear God, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Atriox is a monster in every sense of the word. Stats wise, he is amazing. And model wise, yeah, it's just the same. This is the sculpt you get in the box. There is a different sculpt you can get now. I believe it's £20, and it's got his power fist pointing forward to command his troops to go where he tells them. I'm pretty sure it's voiced in Halo Infinite by the same person who voices Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 1, I think. And he's got his great big hammer, which can be used as a ranged weapon. Yeah. I've deviated slightly with the paint scheme, just because I don't think I could have painted it the same, but I don't know. I think these blacks and silvers work pretty well, don't you think? It just looks like an armoured behemoth. I don't think the actual model is supposed to look as armoured as this, but, I think it works. And, yeah, the fact he's got a beard. You don't get to do hair much in Halo Flashpoint, but or skin for that matter, actually, unless you've got the elites, which is a different sort, but fine. But yeah, nice you can do hair. I'll just focus camera. There we go. I'll just zoom in because I like running Atriox. So yeah, the hairs on the beard, the braids on the beard might be a bit hard to do, but I don't think I've done bad, to be honest. The beard and the back of the hair and the ponytail as well. You know, I don't think I've done too bad, considering. But yeah, that's just me. That's just me. And the bases of the ODSTs are sculpted bases, so it's not flat black, which I really wish they were, but it is what it is. And yeah, I've got blood on his base because that's the Spartan helmets. Yes, Atriox does not believe pink ones shoot harder. So that's the box itself, but how do they play? Well, I've found they are my favourites to play, actually. That's possibly because I like playing Dead Zone, and the brutes do feel a lot like you're playing a strike team in Dead Zone. They are a lot slower than Spartans, and therefore they won't be able to get where they want to as quickly. However, like a lot of models in Dead Zone, they have a lot more health, so they'll be able to, a lot of the times, not always, but a lot of the times, be able to take more of a beating than a Spartan and last probably a turn or two longer than a Spartan. Not only that, but if you take Atriox, he's a lot of points, but he is not just for him unlike Master Chief. Master Chief, if you take him, you are building your team around him. Atriox, you can take anyone with him as long as you've got the points for it, and it'll just work because he is there for all Banished. Like the ODST, which you can mix with Spartans, you can mix the elites with the brutes. So, or you could just do elites, or you could just do brutes, and you could fight elites versus brutes if you want to. Doing it that way gives you access to energy swords from the off with the elites, and then maybe some fair range shooting with the brute snipers. It just depends what you want to take, and if you want some decent command capabilities, now you have it with the brutes, with the brute captains and Atriox, because before with the elites you had no extra command capabilities, which was one of the downsides. It is a good box, and quite frankly it's really, really good. It will cost, I think it is 160, 70 quid. Don't quote me on that, and it does depend where you get them from. Yeah, about 160, 70 quid to get all the stuff in the box separate that you can get. But it's 100 quid if you just buy it as is, which is pretty damn good. Like I say, you can buy the Defiance expansion booklet with 4 brute models separately if you want to. Why not? It just gives you the stuff you want to, if you want to have it quick. You can buy the other 4 brute models that you don't get with the expansion booklet separate as well. The 4 brutes with the expansion booklet is 40, whereas the other 4 brutes is 30, and the 4 elites, you can get the elites separate now, is I believe 25. Again, depends where you get them from. Yeah, the only thing you can't get separate is the mat, which you can get mats, and the neoprene mats are fairly durable. I guess the only thing is thanks for watching and goodbye. I'll tell you what, before I go, I'll just show you a couple of things. So Mantic make these Force Organizer packs. You get 4 of these, and they hard plastic in the box, and they're 20 quid for 4. These allow you, as it shows, to put all your stat things on here. So shields, grenades, items, melee weapon you got equipped, secondary range weapon or weapon you've got equipped. So that's what the box looks like. And just as an example, this is what one of the boards looks like. So yeah, this is the brute special order thing. So like I say, these is where I put items, grenades and so on and so forth. The only thing that I wish they'd put room for is somewhere for the weapon token to go in, just so the model spawns with it if they die at range combat. You know, that's just one little extra thing, and maybe a little spot somewhere for the activation token. But other than that, I think they're really good, and you can put all the cards and the tokens and whatnot together on top of each other, and in the box it comes in, and they hardly move. And I think that's a really nice touch. You can just keep all the force together that you've pointed up, and there you go, ready to play. If you've played Dead Zone before, you'll likely have had some of the hard plastic terrain. Now, this used to come on the sprue and you had to clip it off, but now you don't have to. Now it's all bagged up and separate. You can buy a small terrain piece for the Halo Flashpoint, although you can get bigger ones. The smaller one is 40, and there's a big set for 80, depends on where you get it. So this is an example, a cube that I've put together. Some of the Halo pieces will just be in the Halo set, like this piece and I believe this piece, whereas some of them are just Dead Zone only, so you could mix and match because all of them do work together. So that's just one cube box that I've made. This is a like barricade thing that I made that will stride 2 cubes, which you could put it diagonally, you could put it straight on. Ooh. And there's a lot of places to shoot through and a lot of places to cover. Ooh. Yeah, I know it's Halloween, but I think I'm taking too far. Anyway, I've also done this thing, which, yes, it does come with stairs, and how Mantic have made this, and this is really good, is you can fit model bases in through these little gaps, so they look like they could have it halfway up the stairs, which, that's a really nice touch. I like to call it hobby Lego, and how it works is you see these little connectors here, and I don't know if it shows it on the inside of here. Yeah, I'll just zoom in just to show you. Yeah, this thing here, these how the pieces are connected. So that means you could potentially take it apart and build it up in many different ways. So yeah, you could like build it like a really tall tower that's like height 5 or something, because fall damage is a really big thing in Flashpoint. So yeah, so here's an example of these bits going together if I just zoom out. So yeah, we've got these pieces of terrain that go together. This could be one bit on its own, this could be one bit on its own, but wait, they're now together. Oh! But then we've got this weird section, which is this weird tunnely thing, like so. Also got this like power generator thing that I've mixed with some of the Dead Zone stuff, which you could stand on there and get a little bit of height if you wanted. Also made this little thing so models could go through there and through there. I've also made my crowning piece, I believe, what I've made. Most of this is from the big Halo terrain box. There's only I think about 8 pieces that I've just used from the Dead Zone box. Vast majority of it's from the Halo terrain box. Yeah, 8. There's about 7, 8 pieces that's from the Dead Zone box. But yeah, as you can see, so you've got a bit of cover, but it's still open. And then this is a flat roof here. And then what I've done is I've put a load of connectors on the bottom of this section, which I could have it down on the floor, or I could have it on here. Like so, like that. So you've got a bit of roof there, so you can jump on and stand there, so you've got a bit of height, but it's still fairly open, as you can see. What I've also done is made, if I can find it, a little bridge which is just made with this little thing, and what I do with this is put it in one of the connector ports there, so that goes in there, not clipping it together, just leaving it loose, and then it goes with the other terrain piece. So I'll just show you like that. So that way you've got a bridge piece for a model to go over. I mean, that's fun. What's more fun than that is, if I just move these out, I've made this thing, which is made from two pieces the same as the other bit. I've just had this support piece and then these two pieces at either end, so it's made an even bigger bridge, like so. Of course, this is the wall, so yeah, models can just jump over, but you get what I'm trying to achieve with it, and I think I've done a pretty good job. So Halo Flashpoint has been going from strength to strength, and yeah, at the end of this year it's going to be really big. They are going to continue into 2026 with it, and it's going to go beyond that. I'm sure it will. I think 2026 they're not going to do any big boxes, although don't quote me on that. I think they're going to be smaller, just unit expansion boxes, but we'll see. Every time I've seen something that I've been disappointed in, I've seen the actual stuff and how it works, and it's brought me back in all over again. And the ODST box is no different. So, thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.